Josh Penko here at Leaf Trading Cards with a very special guest, Ryan Montgomery, big-time quarterback going to my alma mater, UGA. Very excited to have you here. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, awesome. Yeah. So we're gonna have you sign some cards.
Yeah.
We'll ask you some questions about high school to college, football-related stuff, some non-football stuff. So started off with a pretty basic one. Why UGA? What made you pick UGA?
Yeah. So once I got the opportunity to be a part of that program, it was pretty much a no-brainer for me. Just, established success there and development second to none. And obviously playing under someone like Coach Smart, like I said, you're just going to get developed second to none. And
right. They've had a little bit of success lately, for sure.
Just a little bit, But yeah, also, playing for like a top-tier program like that, competing year in and year out for national championships.
Right.
And also, more importantly, playing against the best in practice every single day.
For sure. Going up against that defense in practice has got to be pretty daunting.
No joke.
Have you had a chance to do much practice against them yet?
Yeah, so actually this summer I have. Okay. I've been able to do everything that the team's been doing.
Okay.
Obviously, I had the knee injury.
Yeah.
And was very limited in spring.
Sure.
I'm now starting to get back into everything, and it's been fun.
That's awesome.
It's been great.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, sir.
What's been the biggest transition from the high school to the college level where, what makes it challenging?
Yeah, I would say just overall, just your time management. I mean, you're at the facility. I mean, me especially having rehab, you're there 6, 7, 8 hours a day.
Wow. So it's a full-time job.
It's exactly what it is, but also easy answer is just the speed of the game too.
Sure.
Just like athletes on the field you're going against.
Right. Yeah. Everybody is really good. Whereas in high school, there might be a couple guys that are good.
You can get away with it in high school.
Right. You can kind of target somebody that is going to be a math teacher in 3 years.
Exactly.
So, is there anything you collected growing up? Did you collect cards at all?
I did when I was a very younger age. I collected like sports cards and like baseball. I was a big baseball player.
I love that you say at a very younger age like you're old.
Yeah, no, seriously. But I mean, nothing recently, but growing up, baseball cards, basketball cards, kind of like all the
for sure.
sports.
Okay,
so.
That's cool.
Yeah.
How's it feel to have your own card now?
Dude, it's awesome. It's pretty unreal. Yeah. And it's pretty surreal for me. I mean, like I said, like growing up, collecting them and having all those big name cards was a big deal back then.
Sure.
Having one now is like I said, it's pretty surreal.
Yeah,
so
do you have a lot of family members that are collecting your stuff yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
a little bit of background about these cards. The color variation is to make sure that they're a little bit more rare. So what we do is we try and create a bunch of different colors. So like you can notice the green is numbered to 15 up in the top right corner. Like this is the 101. So there's only one of this one.
Yeah.
And then like this is the most common version. So this one's numbered to 75. So we try and make it where there's a couple different colors, because what we'll have is a collector who wants to buy your cards, instead of them just all being silver, where then they only have to buy one, now they've got to buy 8, 10, because there's a bunch of different colors. And then people will chase, like this one is the number 1 of 75, so they're like, oh, it's the first one, so they want that one. And then like jersey number, so whatever your jersey number ends up being, like are you 15?
I'm 15 as of now.
Okay, so a lot of people will collect 15 out of 75, or because it's his jersey number. And then some of the people like what he was talking about earlier with color match, where you're wearing a blue jersey here, obviously you'll be wearing a red or a black jersey, but the card that's blue, where like that one kind of matches the jersey. It looks pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. And then what we'll do, obviously you've signed a lot of stickers for us. We'll do a lot of cool multi-cards. So we might do like a duel with you and Gunnar Stockton.
For sure.
Some stuff where some cool UGA players. We may do some fellow quarterbacks from your draft class. So we'll do maybe a triple or a quad with a bunch of quarterbacks from your same draft class, not draft class, recruiting class, where you're all on the same card together. So we try and make it where there's a lot of different unique stuff out there for sure. To try and keep it.
That's awesome.
Interesting. So I asked this of all the athletes: do you prefer signing on cards or stickers? What's easier? What's better?
I would say definitely cards is cooler, 100%.
That's what everybody says.
It's really cool.
Yeah, everybody says the stickers are a little easier.
Yeah, a little easier, but
but it's cool to see what you're signing,
really cool.
and
cards
for sure
are awesome.
For sure. Sweet. What's the one stadium that you're most excited about playing at outside of UGA? Obviously,
I've always said week 3 at Tennessee.
Okay.
I'm really excited for that one.
It's funny, a lot of the guys say Tennessee. Tennessee seems to be like the hot button topic of that's the stadium I enjoy playing in the most, and that's the one I want to play in the most. I've heard it's very loud, because it's very vertical, and I guess all the sound stays in, and so I've heard it's a really cool place. And obviously there's 110,000 people there or whatever. And Tennessee fans are pretty crazy for sure. sure.
They're rowdy for sure. Yeah, I got the opportunity to visit there throughout my recruiting process in high school.
Yeah.
And I went there, I can't remember, it was 2 or 3 years ago, but they played Florida when Anthony Richardson was the quarterback, and I mean, it was probably the loudest place I've ever been to.
Yeah, we've heard that Tennessee is one of the loudest, if not the loudest, for a lot of people. That's cool, for sure.
It's really cool.
What's it going to be like, sitting behind Stockton for a little bit, and just learning from him, and, obviously he's not super experienced, but he got to play in some incredibly memeaningful games at the end of the year, so he's coming in with not necessarily a super experienced guy, but he's played in some huge moments already. What can you take from sitting behind a guy like that?
Yeah, well, first of all, I'll say he's probably the most down-to-earth human being I've ever met.
That's great.
He's awesome.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I mean, like you said, he hasn't had a ton of experience, but he's played in some very important games, especially this past season. Especially seen from a quarterback's perspective, like I think he played really, really well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, getting thrown in like that, I mean,
I couldn't even imagine. Getting thrown in against Texas. I mean, in Notre Dame, having that being your first start. I couldn't even imagine that, but. Yeah, I mean, obviously someone that's been in the program for 4 years now, going on his 4th year, and runs the offense very well. He's very comfortable with the offense, and he knows everything. So, I mean, just kind of being a sponge around him and ask him the right questions. And
I feel like he's a great guy to learn from because he's a guy that clearly trusts the process of UGA. He's not one of these guys that was like, screw this, they're not playing me as a freshman, I'm leaving.
He's not going to jump ship.
He understood the process. What's one team that you're most excited about playing? There's so many big games for Georgia.
So many big games. It almost feels like every team you play in the SEC is like, it's like the game. And
everybody's gunning for UGA because they're
we're gonna get everybody's best.
100%, for sure.
Yeah, but I would say, like I said, Tennessee and Alabama. I think those two are probably the biggest games I'm most excited for. But
I'm curious to know your thoughts. We have a deal with DJ Lagway, and I've talked to him about this as well. I hate the fact that the Florida-Georgia game isn't home and away. I hate the fact that it's at a neutral site. Would you prefer it to be home and away, or do you like the idea of it being in Jacksonville?
I think so. I think Jacksonville is also kind of cool. I mean, I haven't experienced it yet, but I'm excited for it. But I think home and away would also be
I just feel like that would add to it for sure.
I also visited Florida too for the process, and their atmosphere is awesome. Our receiving group this year is
much
loaded.
better. Yeah, for sure.
I would say it rivals like Ohio State.
Wow.
Up there.
That's impressive.
Especially being able to throw to those guys.
Seeing them every day.
Oh my gosh.
That's awesome. Is there one that really stands out more than the others, or are they just all incredibly good?
So good. I mean, Branch he's unreal. He's going to be so good in the slot this year.
I feel like that's it just kind of got swept under the rug. Like, this guy was elite at USC, and everyone was talking about him, and then he transfers to UGA, and everyone kind of forgets about him. Like,
they'll remember him this year, that's for sure.
I mean, every time that guy touched the ball, you thought he was going to score.
I mean, that's how it is in practice. Like, you think he's going to score every time.
That's awesome.
Especially going against, like I said, a defense.
An elite defense.
He just makes people look silly. He's so quick and agile.
Yeah, for sure. And you guys obviously have great running backs. I mean, running backs kind of been a staple for UGA. And Nate Frazier's another one who I think kind of gets lost a little bit. Really good last year as a true freshman.
I mean, he's young and he's
and nobody's really even talking about this guy. It's kind of crazy to me that I think UGA's fallen into that a little bit because they've been so good. And it's like, oh, they lost one game and everybody's like, oh, they've fallen off. It's crazy. I know we talk about how terrible the year last year was. It was like, that's a great year for 99% of the programs.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, that's just expectation for those top programs. It just comes with it, I guess.
For sure. Well, it's got to be exciting being in that, but there's also got to be a part of it that, do you feel any of the pressure playing for a team like that, look, if you go to, not knocking some of these other schools, but if you're at South Carolina, as great as Lenora Sellers is, I don't think their fans really expect them to win the national championship. Obviously at UGA, it's like, if you don't win a national championship, you haven't succeeded. Is it tough dealing with that side of the pressure?
Yeah, I would say so. But I think more of just from a practice standpoint and just Coach Smart, how intense he is, you definitely just feel it from that. Just from the practice environment. Him on the mic all throughout practice, just ripping people. And
how intense is it? He seems like a guy that you do not want to upset. You don't want him mad at you. How intense is it with him?
Very, very intense. And like I said, I was blessed enough to be able to visit a lot of places for practices throughout the recruiting process, and just the one at Georgia was just different.
Yeah, sure.
Intensity-wise. That's part of the reason why I wanted to go there and wanted to be here is because, like, yeah, he's going to rip into me, but it's just going to make me better.
It's going to make you better,
it's gonna develop me.
Well, and I think it says a lot about who you are, because I think there's a lot of players, unfortunately, these days that don't really want that.
Yeah.
You know, and you see that even with the NIL and the transfers. Like, a lot of these kids, as soon as they face any adversity, they want to leave. And I don't feel like a lot of the players going to UGA have that mentality, because you know going to UGA that you're going to face that. You're going to have playing time battles. Like, you're not going to just be given anything. You're going to have to earn everything. So I think it says a lot about who you are.
Like you said, like, you're going to go through all that at UGA. And
for sure. And you're going to come out great, because it works for, you know, they have a ton of guys drafted and a ton of guys successful at the next level. So it works long term.
For sure.
But it says a lot about the character of a lot of these guys like yourself that go there knowing that it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I think for some of these schools, it's definitely easier than it is at other schools. So I was actually with another high school quarterback a couple days ago, and he mentioned that Keegan Croucher is his name. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him. He's from Connecticut. He's talked to Ole Miss, and, you know, one of the things he really talked about was the path. You know, and you have to get on your path and not worry about what somebody else's path is, or not worry about where somebody else might be ahead of you or whatever it is. Like, it's your path. It's not somebody else's.
100%.
Is it hard to stay patient with that?
It is, but as long as you just stick to the process and understand that like, your path's going to be different than everybody else.
Right.
Just put your head down and grind.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, just got to have belief in yourself and the main point.
Right. Again, I never played football, but I think a quarterback has a much steeper climb from high school to college than any of these other positions. Like,
definitely.
you know, if you're an elite athlete, you can probably step in and play some receiver.
Yeah.
As a quarterback, like, what do you think, you know, what best prepares you to be successful on the collegiate level?
I think definitely the film study for sure is a big part, like the mental aspect. Just especially as the higher level you get, like college and NFL, it's like everybody's going to be just as athletic, if not more athletic than you. So like this just makes the mental aspect that much more important.
For sure. And the talent gap seems like it closes as you get higher.
100%.
Yeah, when you're in high school, you can win on talent alone. As you
get away with it.
Right. As you progress, you know, everybody in the NFL is really, really good at football. You know, so you've got to really understand. And I think, like, I look at some of the greatest quarterbacks ever, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, like, these are not guys that were more athletically gifted.
Not at all.
They just understood the game so much better than everyone else, and, you know, it really set them apart.
Yeah, but also, like you said, like, reps is definitely big. Like, that's kind of what I'm learning. Like, I got a lot of mental reps throughout the spring, and I was able to get in the playbook a lot earlier than maybe the usual person, just because, you know, when I got hurt, like, I was out for the season. So I dove right into the playbook and got super familiar with it. But it's different seeing it on paper than obviously real life and reps. So that's kind of what I'm learning is, like, I just got to get more reps under my belt and just become more comfortable.
One of the things that I've heard is going from high school to college, the plays are just so much more convoluted, so much more complicated, there's so much more to learn. How hard is it to pick all that up? Is
it's a lot. It's definitely a lot. I can't speak on like other schools, but like Georgia for sure it's a pro style offense. So it's literally like an NFL offense.
Yeah, which gets you ready, which is great.
The NFL verbiage and all that. And as a quarterback, you gotta know what everyone's doing on offense. You gotta know what the defense is doing. You gotta know all the signals. You gotta know what every single word in the play means. And there's some plays where it's like 15, 20 words.
So can you give us an example of like what a play call, like what one would sound like?
Sure, like, I mean, you can go like under deuce left, black tootsie, F corner, Y slide.
And that's
X
one play.
Over, that's one
play. Each part is telling an individual player what they're doing, correct? Okay. That's crazy. After Gunner calls a play, do you look at a couple guys and like, I'm not sure they understand what they're supposed to do?
100%, especially like the younger guys for sure. I mean, you just gotta have reps, and it takes time. Like people don't understand like how much actually goes into football.
I think you're right. You know, and again, look, I've been a football fan. I've never played any meaningful football, but just watching a game, admittedly, you guys are so good, you make it look easy. And you're like, oh, that's easy. You know, you just yell some words and everybody knows what they're doing.
Exactly.
But there's so much going on, and there's signals, and there's all kinds of stuff, and, you know.
Chaos.
And then half the stuff the quarterback says at the line during the play is just fake. Like, you know, they're just yelling random things to try and throw people off, and it's like, man, this is crazy. You know, if I was out there, I'd forget, and I'd be like, oh, wait, he said something. I don't know if that's real or not. Like, there's just so much going on. Was it like that at all in high school, or is it just a lot more basic?
So much more basic in high school. I mean, for me, like specifically for me, we ran like a real spread offense, like 5 wide all the time. So it was a lot on me, but the verbiage wasn't nearly as bad.
Okay.
And, I mean, obviously not as nearly as many plays either.
Sure.
I mean, definitely a lot dumber down.
Yeah.
A lot more basic.
Right.
For sure. So it was a big adjustment. Such a big advantage, like kids enrolling early, half semester early now.
Yeah.
It's like getting those winter workouts under your belt and just that spring ball.
Right.
Like, even for me, like not being able to participate much in it, but just still being there.
Yeah, and experiencing it.
The mental aspect,
for sure.
like I said. And
for sure.
It's definitely a big jump.
Yeah. What's something about Athens, the city, the place where UGA is that you already like or that you've kind of grown attached to?
I would just say the college town feel that I get.
It's amazing college town.
A nice college town.
Yeah, you're not too terribly out in the middle of nowhere.
Exactly.
So outside of football, what are some things that you enjoy?
I'm a big golfer.
Okay.
Yeah, so I love golf.
There's a great course in Athens.
There's a few really good, nice courses in Athens for sure. But yeah, golf. I'll fish every once in a while.
Okay.
I love the outdoors. So I love animals, all that.
That's great.
Yeah.
I love to hear that. And a lot of the guys say fishing, which is interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just something that, in all the chaos that you guys deal with, like
brings
you can just go out, you can be by yourself or be with your dad or your buddies and just not have to deal with all the chaos.
Yeah.
Because it's very peaceful and you're just kind of sitting there and taking it all in.
Yeah, sometimes it's not even about like the actual fishing part, like catching the fish, just being out on the water. And just like, it just brings like a calmness.
For sure, it's very calm, for sure.
Yeah.
As long as you're not, fishing for sharks or something.
Exactly.
Winning national championships and playing in national championships, and it's got to be a fun program to be around.
100%, yeah.
Was that a big part of what made you choose UGA?
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
Playing in those big games?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
for sure.
My brother probably doesn't want to hear this, but the SEC by far is just like the most competitive,
no question.
best conference, 100%.
Yeah, I was just talking
hands down, like. You play in the SEC, like you don't have an off week.
Exactly.
Like, you can't overlook anybody. Like every week
100%.
is the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Anyone can beat anyone. Like
in terms of their transfers, like when the season, and I know you haven't experienced really an off season yet, but like trying to recruit buddies that are at other schools. Like, do you think that's something that a lot of these kids do?
That's a great question. I mean, obviously I can't relate to that yet.
Yeah, for sure.
I think if you're the guy, I would think so.
I would think so too.
Like having a great relationship with your position coach and your OC and whoever there, maybe you're looking at the portal, like you kind of get together and kind of just take charge of it. So.
Right. So many of you guys know each other. Whether it's playing, being in a camp or just playing in state championship games or whatever. Like, it's amazing how many of you guys know each other and have had some kind of interaction with other players. Because you don't really know about that as a fan. What's your favorite thing about just being a football player? Is it winning games? Is it just playing? Is it getting to do cool stuff? What is it?
I would say winning games for sure. Like, I'm uber competitive and just that feeling you get winning a game.
Would you rather win a game on the road or a game at home?
On the road.
Okay, that's what everybody 100%. Says. They all say that. They all say it. Yeah. Disappointing the home crowd is nothing like it.
Yeah, there's nothing like it.
As a quarterback, does and you haven't obviously experienced it quite yet on the big collegiate level, but how does the crowd noise come into trying to control the offense, get the plays in, all that? Like, how big of an impact do you think that has on it?
I'm sure it has a really big impact, especially playing in the SEC and those type of environments. I mean, like, I've been to a ton of games and just like being in the crowd and it's like, it's so loud, like you can barely even hear yourself talk. So I couldn't even imagine like trying to, as a quarterback, you got to get the line call in, you got to get people set up. Like, I'm sure it's crazy. It definitely has an effect for sure. So
they do a lot in practice to try and get you guys prepared for stuff like that.
Yeah, so like in season we'll have like crowd noise on like the speakers and stuff, and obviously Coach Smart will be screaming at you. So just trying to distract you and see how you respond in those type of moments. So
that's
get
cool.
you ready for the game.
Yeah, for sure. Nothing can really get you exactly ready, but it still helps for sure.
For sure.
Did you play any other sports other than football?
Yeah, so I was a baseball player growing up.
We guess you were a pitcher.
Yeah, yep.
All the quarterbacks are pitchers.
Yeah, played that growing up. I dropped that around middle school. I just wasn't my passion. A little too slow for me.
Sure.
But I also played basketball all throughout my life, and my junior year was the last year I played. So,
what position did you play in basketball?
I really played it all.
Okay.
I played point guard. In AAU, I played the 5 in high school.
Oh wow.
Kind of just whatever the team needed me.
Sure.
That's kind of what I played.
I've learned that most elite college athletes are just elite athletes. Like, they could have played whatever they wanted. It's kind of crazy. So who's your favorite pro team to watch? You have a favorite team?
Yeah, Steelers.
Okay.
Yeah. Kind of weird being from Ohio to be a Pittsburgh fan.
Yeah.
But
So what's one quarterback that you really look up to in terms of a pro that you feel like you can emulate your game around?
I always growing up watching Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is such an anomaly. I think he's one of the best players that just throw the football, like the most talented.
I totally agree. I think if Aaron Rodgers was a little more level-headed.
You can't really emulate your game after him because he's just so.
He could do so many things that no one else could.
It's insane
for sure
what he does.
That's kind of like how I feel about Mahomes. Like Mahomes is obviously a great player, but some of the stuff he does, if anybody else tries to do it, it's just not going to work. Because you just
like once in a generation type athlete.
Right, for sure.
You can't become too complacent. With success, it just brings even more work.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
You just got to keep working.
On this one, you can just write like "Go Dogs" or something special, since that's the one.
Still put the signature.
Yeah, the signature, and then just "Go Dogs" or whatever you want. Sweet. Put whatever you want on it. Well, Ryan, we just wanted to thank you for stopping by today. It's been a blast getting to know you, a little bit more personal. Some of the things you like, maybe outside of football. You mentioned fishing, some really cool stuff. Best of luck this season at UGA. I think you guys are going to be really good. We'll try and make it out to a game, and thank you for everything you've done for us. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you as well.
For sure. Thanks for coming by. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.